Hello, this is Smislav the Slayer doing another live Blitz chess game commentary. Playing the Sicilian. I'll aim for the dragon. I'm going to play d6. And we have f4. Not really sure exactly how to respond to this, so I'll just play knight to c6. And play g6 without playing knight f6. He's already played knight c3, so... And a bunch of kingside expansion. I'm going to go ahead and just prepare, I think, to castle queenside. Kind of on the sly, though. Yeah, definitely here. Play e6 to get control of this d5 square. Queen to c7 is next. I don't think I like queen to b6 as much. Just it opens. It's too. This sort of discovered check here is just not that important. Knight to e7. Maybe he'll play another kingside pawn move. And then I'll castle queenside, and it'll be really nice for me. I think f5 is probably going to be the way I break this open. H6 is another option. If I play h6, I think I get the open h file. Then f6, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and castle queenside, sorry. Then h6, then takes f6. His attack will be pretty fast as well, but not fast enough, I don't think. His pieces aren't really well, his bishop is kind of, has a lot of potential here. This bishop isn't helping though. This knight is alright, but I'm covered it decently. I'm actually going to go ahead and play f6 here. So he can't recapture g5 with his knight. And if he takes either of these pawns, I would be pretty happy about that, because then I can play g5 and really break everything open. I'm going to go ahead and play the h way first. And then I'll play... Yeah, I'll play f takes g5. Now, knight, I do have to worry about this f7 square. I don't have to worry about that. But I do need to find some way to dislodge that bishop. I think actually d5, preparing d5 might be the best way to go about it. About continuing the attack. Hmm. I'm just thinking about actually what I want to do here. Rook to f8. Knight to... Getting a knight to f7 would be pretty nice, but it takes a long time. And I want to protect this knight kind of as quickly as I can. I think rook to f8, then bishop to e8 maybe. Bishop to e8 doesn't look that good though. Bishop to e8 doesn't look good at all. I think I just actually am going to go back. Or this to b8 with the king, and then knight to c8. And I'm going to go ahead and take that, because I don't think he's going to... Yeah, see, now I can play... Well... Okay. I guess his attack is pretty quick after all. I'm going to go ahead and take that as well. If he takes with the... Okay. The queen. Queen to b6 check. How do I want to do this? Just like that. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and play c5. I've got a little kind of a trap here. I can play rook takes f3, and then queen takes g5. It's not that easy to spot that tactic. And d4 I have pretty well covered. His rook is bearing down on this, but it's not quite there yet. Um, let's see. Um, I think I'll just take the pawn, and then I'm gonna go over to take this I'll just try to take all these pawns actually, if I can, and hope that my defense holds up over here. If the queen moves, I have not too much going on, but his king is pretty exposed, so the fact that my king is exposed is worrisome, but I don't know, I think I can, if he tries to move these pieces over to attack me, I think I'll have more opportunities to attack him then. And this knight setup is pretty good actually. So I'll continue taking as many pawns as he wants to give me. At some point I'm gonna have to worry about this b7 pawn. Not yet though. I guess I can't take this because of the check. I can actually take this one though. The knight. So, and with that I can always move to c7. Actually in the a7 square I have covered quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and go to this square. I think g5 actually doesn't look so bad. It doesn't look great. Maybe, yeah, I think actually just rook takes f3. And I'll get the 2 pieces for the rook, and these are 2 of his best defensive pieces. Actually, I can take g5 as well if I wanted to take the dark square bishop instead of the light square bishop. So I have a couple options here. I think I will take the light square bishop just because my b2 pawn is more vulnerable than my dark squares, it seems. So I think it's a little bit better. Okay, so he's going for the a8. That doesn't really do a whole lot. These knights are just going to be able to protect against quite a bit. So now I have queen takes g5. Okay, the pawn is pinned. And I have rook takes h4 check. Excuse me. And he doesn't have an easy check here. And now he doesn't have, actually this would become checkmate if he plays bishop takes f3 for instance as his checkmate. If he plays, even if he doesn't, this pawn is going to become a big weakness for him. And his attack is fizzled out. The knights are doing a really nice job of guarding the a7, b6, d6, and a5 squares, and then c5 is covered pretty well too. So I think that's actually going to be checkmate, or not checkmate, but I guess he has to give up his queen to prevent checkmate, which is about just as good. So this is a pretty interesting tactical game. He actually resigns. So yeah, he kind of just went crazy on the king side, so I decided castle queen side. I wonder if maybe playing. No, I think. Well, I think that's what I did. Castling queen side there is fine. And this h6 f6 idea I think worked out pretty well. I'm not sure if he would have been better off maybe taking on h6 for instance. I'm not sure if he handled that the best way. But the way he did handle it was pretty well, worked well, really pretty decently too, because the bishop helped guard this h4 pawn, and he might have actually just been, and actually this was pretty, I kind of underestimated this a bit. I think maybe I could have played, well, The problem is like he gets to open it up with b5. I'm not sure if there's a way for me to try to prevent that a little bit better the way than what I ended up doing. Um, the problem is this knight has to stay here to guard this knight. Uh, like bishop to e8 wouldn't do anything. Knight to c. I mean, I guess I have to do it at this point. So maybe king to b8 was the wrong move. Maybe here I should actually just play something like knight to g8, just so if b5 takes, then I can play knight to a7, and then play knight to b5 and sort of keep this pawn from breaking open my queen side more than it did. And then the way it worked out, I think taking this pawn. The other thing is it's not just taking the pawn, but getting on the second rank, which doesn't do a whole lot at this stage of the game, but it does put some pressure on his position. And it's just taking this other pawn, then his position becomes really fragile. Like he doesn't have the pawn pushes to really, I don't know, just make things happen. I don't know if that's, I don't know. That might not be the best way to go about this, but it just seems, I guess he just loses the piece too, that helps. But I think even in this one, I think he probably should have played rook to b7, b2, sorry, b2, rook to b2 here to double up and really put some pressure on this b7 pawn. And then actually I might be in some trouble. Actually, I might be in a lot of trouble. So maybe I just got really lucky here. If he plays rook to b2. Because I would have to maybe do something like, I don't even know, knight to e5. The problem is I kind of need two moves. I needed to move a knight and then to get my bishop to be able to guard this pawn. And I only have one move. Or it's rook to b2 and like rook to f7. Knight takes d6. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. But I guess actually he doesn't have a good discovery. Maybe knight to d4, and I have to play bishop to e8. Otherwise, I get rook takes b2 check, and then I get in a lot of trouble over here. I think probably checkmated, and then he can play knight to well, maybe he wouldn't want to play knight takes c3. I don't know. I don't know what he would do. So maybe actually I do have a decent amount of sort of defensive resources after rook to b2 with like rook to f7, and then it's just that his knight doesn't have a real good attack to make while unleashing the double rooks here. That seems possible. And at this stage, I think it's pretty much over. And here I set up the rook takes f3. And I think he needs to not basically do what he did. Just, in some way. And the double rooks in the A file doesn't work nearly as well as I think the double rooks in the B file would work. Mostly because this B7 pawn gives me just the right amount of defense I need to get my king to the cover, I guess. Whereas if he's on the B file here instead of the A file, then things look a lot different because he plays bishop takes or rook takes B7 check. I have to go here, and he plays queen to or I guess he just rook anywhere. Rook goes back, and then I'd have to worry about all kinds of checkmate threats just with the rooks and the queens on these two files that are wide open. I mean, maybe I could just use with knight a7 to interfere with that, but it might be a little bit better. Well, I guess I'm guarding the b file at this point, though, so I think he probably should have played the other rook over first, though. Rook to this rook to b1, then like queen h5, then the other rook. Yeah, so I think that's probably where he kind of finally lost it. Well, at the end, I guess, and he sort of just blundered completely. So But at that point, I think it might have already been lost. So anyway, thanks for watching.